Episode 5 of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, titled The Pirate, brings back the swamp monster Gorian Shard from the first episode as the show continues to find its direction with this chapter to leading to some incredible Easter eggs, cameos, and revealing plot points for the rest of the season. But my favorite musical moment from this episode was an Easter egg reference from the game Jedi Fallen Order. This is Star Wars Music Analysis.
Do it.
The episode begins by feeling like an answer to and reflection of everything that happened in the first half of the season by returning to a now familiar Navarro in its rebirth. The Renaissance-style music is gone this time and replaced with far more modern music. It gives the vibe of Afro-Cuban music with the bongos as well. But all that goes away as Gorian Shard shows up. A low drone enters instead, followed by dissonance in the brass. The music continues in the low instruments as Gorian and Grief talk. I was listening for a theme, and I think there's one in here as Gorian laughs, but it's difficult to hear over all the dialogue, which makes me wonder whether it's actually anything important.
The New Republic can't even protect the Mid-Rim from the pirate nation.
As Gorian's ship begins blasting the city, the music picks up and leads into the title screen.
The New Republic can't even protect the Mid-Rim from the pirate nation.
The scene picks up at a New Republic outpost as we hear what the subtitles refer to as a psychedelic rock music. But this might be something that sounds familiar because the jaw harp and overall sound of this music is an immediate tell that we're hearing our favorite real-life band, The Who. I've talked about The Who before since they were the ensemble that created Sugan Esena, or Black Thunder, which could be heard in the opening scene and the arena during the game Jedi Fallen Order. I extensively break down this song in a separate video that you can find linked in the upper right of your screen, but this was a great reference that further ties together the entire Star Wars galaxy and its musical culture, and I'm curious if any of you also noticed this. Oddly, I could not find The Who in the post-credits, which I was surprised by, but I'm certain that this was The Who and serves as another awesome musical Easter egg this season by Joseph Shirley and the music team. And musically, this is awesome, but this is quickly overshadowed by the appearance of Zeb, and that's of course what everyone's been talking about. I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but Zeb was part of the team that Ezra Bridger found himself pulled into during the Rebels series, and it creates a further connection to Ahsoka, Thrawn, and all of the other likely plot points upcoming. As Captain Teva travels to Coruscant to plead for assistance, the planet's theme that we first heard in Episode 3 returns. And because of Shirley's dedication to this theme, it's really beginning to work for me now. But now we start to further see earlier plot points begin to tie together. Low music plays underneath during his entire meeting with the requisitions officer, but as he warns of something bigger coming and storms out, there was the faintest hints of Palpatine's theme. See if you can hear this ascending and then descending minor third in the bass. That was all I needed to get chills as the inevitable begins to become clearer. As Captain Teva speaks to Din Djarin, you can hear his theme begin underneath very softly in the lows before slowly becoming more present. It represents how Din Djarin must now come out of the shadows and return to being a hero for the greater galaxy once more, even though he is reluctant to do so. In the following scene, we see Din take up a role as a leader for the first time. As Bo begins prepping the Mandalorians in the next theme, her theme plays into the overall texture of the music. It continues as they travel through hyperspace along with elements of the Mandalorian main theme, including its ostinato in the background. This reflects the stronger ties and teamwork between these two characters. As we return to Navarro, the pirate theme becomes far more clear now. Interestingly, it is very similar to the Mythosaur's theme that we heard in episode 2 of this season. But as Mando schools the pirates, his theme begins playing through instead. And it was cool to see the Mandalorians just going to town on these pirates. Energetic music plays throughout the battle until the very end. As Greef Karga bestows land to the Mandalorians, the Mandalorian theme plays in the guitar, giving that Western vibe to the show once more.
I, Magistrate Greef Karga.
Hi, Magistrate.
But as Bo-Katan goes to see the Armorer, elements of the Armorer theme begin. As the low drone continues, we also hear Bo's theme enter.
They served the same purpose.
And the moment that the Armorer mentions the Mythosaur, you guessed it, we receive its theme as well.
You that the Mythosaur existed only in legends, and yet you...
This theme feels like a perfect reflection of the conversation that these two had at the end of last week's episode as well. The music returns to Bo-Katan's theme as she, without her helmet, and the Armorer approach Din. Her battle theme enters as well as they begin reforming Mandalore, and I cannot wait to see where this leads to next. In the final scene, Captain Teva comes across a broken down Imperial shuttle. The music immediately falls into eerie drones and atmospheric percussion, making us dread what could come next. I was waiting for a monster or something, but instead we find out that Gideon may now be in the hands of a Mandalorian group. This raises a lot of questions given that he had the Darksaber in Season 1, so maybe they think he's their leader, or maybe they just want to punish him themselves. It looks like we're finally going to get some full-on Mandalorian action and see more coverts in the final 3 episodes of this season, and I have to imagine that the Zeb cameo wasn't just for fun. Could this season end with the reveal of Thrawn, or maybe we'll see members of Death Watch having taken Gideon? There are so many great possibilities for what could come next. But I would love to know what you all think as well. Where do you think the last 3 episodes of this season will end, and when exactly is Bo-Katan going to challenge Din for that Darksaber? She seemed pretty ready to go berserk on someone at the end of this episode, so good luck to Din on that one. And where do you think Gideon is now? Tell me in the comments below what you think. Consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.